Never here from Drake Wayne Gaming, and so you know on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you in the Let's Play episode of Roads Yet Traveled, Marruk's Path. So y'all, before we jump into it, just wanted to let y'all know that our Patreon is now up for as little as $5. Y'all can help support the channel and get some awesome rewards like permanent access to our community Discord server and full access to upcoming not safe for work videos. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back in. Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alright. Blinking myself to life, I see the lights are now on, and once again Marruk is looming over my bed. Is it morning? Something like that. Doc wants you in about a mark, so get up and get ready. Doc? Is he taking me today? Yeah, experiments or some shit. I don't know, just get ready. Right, sorry. Getting up and stretching, I can tell I'm not still very rested. Even with the extra hours afforded to me by Ian. Leon time? Is it how do you fucking pronounce that? Ian time? Leon time. I'm gonna call it Leon time. Marruk seems to be checking his messages or something. I really need to get one of those, at least to tell what time it is. Making my way to the bathroom, I start up the shower before inspecting myself in the mirror. Fortunately, I'm not so short that I can't see into the mirror, but I still do feel a bit dwarfed by some of the basic amenities around here. My hair looks terrible, and I can feel that I was sweating again in my sleep. Ugh, I'll have to ask if I can get the sheets cleaned. I don't bother wasting too much time in the shower, as I still can't bother with the soap, but rinsing off gives me time to think. I've got to find a way to de-stress while here. I can't keep having these shitty nightmares. I don't even know why they freak me out so much. It's just a shitty mascot. Maybe I can ask Doc today. Speaking of, was Marruk talking about with experiments? Probably more tests to run on me, but still, I'd like to know if I'm walking into a day full of just having my blood drawn. With a heavy cloud over my head, I dry off and head outside. Marruk is checking some things out on his computer, and I decide to stand behind him and watch. It's all too similar, really. Opening tabs, checking emails and documents. It even looks like he pulls up a spreadsheet at some point. Eventually, I think he feels my breath on the back of his neck as I fly too close to the sun. Hey, what the hell are you doing, Rias? Oh, sorry, I was just curious about what you were doing. You could have just asked. And new rule. Don't stand behind me like that. By the eye, scaring me like that twice in one day? What am I doing? What am I gonna do? He turns back to his work. So, what are you working on, though? On the monitor. Like schedules, or... it's nothing interesting. But if you must pry, yes, I'm checking on some schedules and reading some reports. I haven't been able to do any rounds myself for over a week now, and it's making me nervous. Nervous? Forget I said that, damn it. I'm just pissed at how bad some of these reports are. Bad how? By the fucking eye, Rias, He finally turns to face me fully, noting how I look more upset than scared and calms down a bit. They're just poorly written. That's all. So you go. Alrighty. And there are too many of them. I expect better from my crew, damn it. Missing items, minor safety incidents, and... I know I'm already pushing my luck asking another question, but I think he's calmed down enough now just to talk his issues through. And now I have to deal with a slew of reports about... Well, listen, Rias, you know what they're about. Excuse me, they're about you and people get too curious about you. Already? What do you mean, too curious? He takes a second to answer, wiping down his brow with a heavy paw. I realize now he looks tired, maybe even more than me. Shit, maybe I should give him a break. Just some idiots trying to post up in hallways where they aren't supposed to be, trying to get a good view of you. A lot of people showing up late, and half my damn messages are people gossiping about you already. So yes, people are curious already. He closes the tabs he was working on and heads over to his bed to finish getting dressed. I find myself unable to move. Just watching him put his jacket on, tuck his shirt in and tighten his belt. It all seems so practiced, so routine. There's a certain elegance to it, like a dance he's performed 1,000 times. Or maybe I'm looking too hard for something that isn't there. He seems so organized and proper in his actions, and yet he looks so exhausted. From the outside looking in, he seems fine, flawless even. Who knows? Maybe it's only skin deep. Taking my time, I finish getting dressed and going over my possessions, checking if I want to bring anything with me today. One, and maybe the only benefit of being in that cell, was at least I knew where all my things were. If I needed something, I could just get it. But now, if I'm going to be out during the day, I might want to make sure I have what I need on me. Once I pack what little I have, I look to Marruk, who seems to be caught in his own thoughts just scanning the room. We make uncomfortable eye contact before turning away. I think we still have a few minutes before we have to head out. Maybe I can ask him more about myself. I haven't really had time to ask him anything since the morning was a bit hectic. Well, besides if he dreams, I guess. Anyways. Hey, Marruk? I guess a curious expression is all I'm afforded. How'd you meet Doc? You two seem to know each other well. Why do you want to know? Marruk. Fine. He's been here longer than I have, running the medical research department and working with the chief and whatnot. His dad? Yeah. Anyways, I got hurt a few times. We met, nothing more of it. Eventually, when I became head of security, we started interacting more. Turned out we had similar views on things. He takes a pause and looks me over. Some things. But, yeah. He's a good Karain. You didn't need to tell me that for me to think he was a good Karain. But thanks for telling me. Wait, how recently did you become head of security? His expression sours as I can tell I've overstepped somehow. His Karain nature forces a snarl onto his face. I try to stand firm, but being alone in a room with him, with no glass in between us, I find it hard for my legs not to turn to mush. Eventually, he seems to snap out of it. Alright, Doc's waiting. Come on. And don't fall behind. He takes off without even making sure I'd follow. I don't bother testing him. The hallways are fairly clear, but not as clear as I'd like. There are a few sparse Karain walking by of all shapes and sizes. Most about Marruk's height, though. Trying to keep up with Marruk's stride is difficult, as I can tell we're in a hurry to get to Doc's. Or at least get me out of the public eye. A few Karain walk by without even noticing us, but the majority? So you know. A few Karain walk by without even noticing us, but the majority stare. I suppose I can't blame them, but I do hate it. Eyes from down the hall, from open doors from behind. I feel them crawling all over me like there's two from last night. I can only hear faint whispers in their thoughts. None assuage my pounding heart. By the heart, that's really it! Impossible, What is Sinnoh thinking? If only I could get closer. Kill us all. Fortunately, Marruk seems to have been right. No one approaches us. In fact, most Karain jump out of the way scared when they see us. Marruk almost barrels a few stray scientists down. I try to think he's just a jerk to everyone. Eventually we come to a fairly unassuming door and Marruk quickly swipes it open, ushering me inside. Oh, hello now, new room. Damn, Doc's office is like no doctor's office I've ever seen. This looks closer to a mad scientist laboratory. Everyone is a doctor, right? All of his non-answers about what kind of medical degree he has are starting to worry me a bit. I wonder if he's... Oh, there you are! I was getting worried. The time to wonder as Doc comes around a corner to greet us. Worried? Why? No one in their right mind would stop me. Yes, well, you can never be too careful, Marruk. Overconfidence can only hurt you in the end. Marruk just rolls his eyes. Anyways, Doc, can I go now? I really gotta catch up on a lot of work and... Yes, please don't let me keep you. Just stop by with lunch, please, when you can. Without even saying another word, Marruk offers me one last glance and heads out, closing the door behind him. I suddenly feel very alone as the light from the hallway fades. Doc has quickly closed the gap between us and stands but a few feet away. Having closed the distance startles me more than anything, as I did not hear nor see him move. Hey, Doc. Good morning. How are you? What's wrong, Rias? Wrong? What are you talking about? He takes another step forwards. I panic and take a half step back, as my heart rate increases again. Your heart rate is too high. Are you sure you're fine? Shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, Doc, He stops inching towards me and kneels in front of me. Despite his earlier actions, I find myself calmer now that I can look into his eyes. Rias, please, what happened? Was it... Marruk? What? No! One at a time. There were just a lot of Karain in the hallways. Too many and it freaked me out a bit. It doesn't help that I can understand what they're saying. I'm grateful that I can understand you, but... Doc takes a moment to look me over, maybe trying to see something I cannot, before sighing and shaking his head. I knew this would happen. I'm sorry, Rias, I feel like I failed you. What Marrow, it's fine. It's not your fault. Even so, I feel as though I should have been there for you. Perhaps I should be there in the mornings to walk you here. Oh, excuse me. I think Marruk was right, Doc. I doubt anyone would try anything against him. But if it would make you feel better, I wouldn't mind it.
It would. I'll see to it. Now then, we still have a lot of work ahead of us today. Is that alright with you?
Right. Of course.
Yes, let's. But first, would you like a small tour, perhaps? I know this lab might not be as exciting as the pools or the observatories, but I thought you might enjoy seeing more of what you can.
That sounds great, Doc. Thanks.
Well then, let's start over here. I can show you some of the more notable machines we use here.
We get up and head over to a wall of large devices, all plugged into various outlets as well as each other. There's a lot of exposed and messy cords. Is that like a style choice around here? Or are these machines so complicated that need that much power?
We've got a machine for everything, really. I'm not sure how helpful an explanation of them all would be, but oh! Look!
He lumbers over to one of the smaller ones, which is currently emitting a small whirring sound as it seems to be gently shaking.
This one has your blood.
What?
I mean, this is the machine we're using to learn more about your blood samples.
Oh, that makes more sense. I'm not sure how he even realizes how strange that's. I'm not sure he even realizes how strange that sounded. But we move on. He shows me where some esoteric tools are, as well as a freezer full of various and probably extremely toxic materials. There's a drawer full of bandages and band-aids that look extremely large and tough. I assume they have to stick to fur, somehow. He shows off some more machines in the back that seem as though they were built into the floor of the room, including some big tube-like thing. He says it for scanning what we cannot see, so I assume it's like an MRI of some kind. But before I know it, we're back at his desk.
Well, is there anything else you think you want to see? In here, of course.
No, not right now, but thanks. He smiles and straightens his lab coat.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm almost set up for today. I just need another minute to finish some things.
As he walks away to finish preparing for a long day of tests, I find myself sitting next to an array of sharp and scary-looking tools. Fortunately, he just checks something on one of the monitors. There you go. There's quite the mix of projections and traditional monitors throughout the lab. In fact, why does one Korean need so many monitors? Does he normally have assistants that would help him? I hadn't even thought of that. Hope I didn't cause some Korean to lose their job just because they're not allowed to get close to me. I continue to watch Doc work as he walks off to collect more tools from around the room. While I can't see everything he picks up, I don't see anything that looks particularly pointy, so I'm probably fine. As another screen flickers to life, I'm curious about how everything is running around here. I know that they have some kind of supercomputer. I mean, they must, right? I think I remember Marruk talking about something like that. Still, I doubt it's as cool as an AI would be. Although, those tend to end poorly in movies and stuff. I'd hate to be. I'm sorry, Rias, I'm afraid I can't do that into space. Although, that's just a movie, and this is real somehow. Bored, my focus is drawn to a particular projection as it slowly cycles through a handful of pretty charts I can't read. Wait. I'm basically just checking out the posters at the doctor's office, aren't I? Fortunately for me, Doc seems to have finished collecting his tools as he comes over and pulls up a chair next to me. Since I'm not reclined on some horrid examination table with wax paper, this feels a bit more personal. Which is nice, as I feel less exposed. Hey, find everything you need?
Huh. Rias, I don't think there are enough examination tools on the station to figure out everything about you.
Is that a compliment? Either way, he's probably right. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm gonna give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier anyway. If y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work content as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!